mode of ignorance, he's just lazy. He just wants to be intoxicated. He wants to lie down. He wants nobody to disturb. He's just lying and sleeping. That's all his mood is. Now you just tell me how many people in this world are in mode of goodness, and how many people are moved by mode of passion, and how many people are in the mode of ignorance. Can somebody see what's all around you? How many people are really want to be enlightened, want to be happy, want to be peaceful, and endeavoring for that? And how many people are just greedy, running pillar to pole, pushing the people aside? I want to go before this. Why is it there? How to, where the money? How to earn the money? Where is the people? How to enjoy them? How many people are in this mood? And the people just sleeping. This is the only way we can be happy. There's there. So these three modes are actually governing all the human beings. The people who are governed by mode of goodness, they are the good people. If we associate with the people who are in mode of goodness, then we'll feel enlightened and happy. If we associate with the people who are in mode of passion, then we will have a greed and attachment and envy, because I need everything means you must be envious of somebody else. And there will be hatred and enmity in everything. The mode of ignorance is just lower mode. So really, the human being should come up to the mode of goodness. This association is mode of goodness. This is what I wanted to hear from you. The realization of this association is bringing us into the mode of goodness. You agree with me? Is it something like that atmosphere? It's bringing us mode of goodness. It's called Sato Guna. Sato, good means Sato. Sato means actually truthfulness also, Sato. Sattva means this is really mode of goodness, where you feel enlightened, when you feel peaceful, where you feel blissful, and there's no investment at all. There's nothing artificial from outside that by money we become happy, and by something outside we become happy, by touching something, by eating, nothing. It simply is coming from inside. It is within us, and simply this is a procedure. This is a procedure to bring it out. So mode of goodness is most important. The human being at mode of goodness, they can help the people in this world to be peaceful, friendly, cooperative. That's the needed. Passion simply divides, and there's enmity and hatred, that's all. Anybody wants to share something more? Any question or comment? Shankarji, you have to say something?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment? You have some wisdom, words of wisdom? Huh? I understand. Yeah. Yes, bro. Shankar.
I had a thought.
Yes, till he go deep dive and find out something.
I'll buy you some time.
Yes. Yes.
Just the last thing you said about passion, how it just creates division, and I think I see a lot. People don't realize that just their spirit too. People say, "Oh, just enjoy this material world in moderation," and like that, and they try to balance their how much they consume within the material world. But people don't realize that very lifestyle, even that balance, you say, okay, I'll sleep a little bit here and eat this and then enjoy that and take more here, and okay, not too much because that's depleted, so I'll take from over here. So they call that balance, but it's really, the idea is to continue taking, but like forest management. Okay, instead of cutting down the whole forest, we'll just cut down this section and let this grow back, and then we'll cut down over here and we'll let this grow back. But still, ultimately, you're going to harvest the whole thing. So anyway, what I see is that people try to create balance, but they don't realize that they're actually cultivating the mode of passion within their hearts and within their minds. And so gradually, as this goes on, it creates disturbance in the mind and in the heart. People don't realize actually they have to give up that attitude and develop more of a selfless attitude.
But you are saying the word balance. I would say people should balance their material and spiritual life. That's more important. To balance the spiritual aspect of the life and material aspect of the life. That balance is most important. Now what they are only balancing is material thing. They are balancing here and there. But they are not ignoring the really spiritual part of the life. The spiritual part of the life and material part of the life has to be balanced. They both should be balanced. The spiritual part of the life will give us peace, happiness and bliss. This is at level of the soul. Material part of the life is for bodily needs, to earn money, to feed the body, to keep the relationship with the people we love. So the balance has to be kept. In other words, we have to keep balance with our own self and with all the people around us. We are so much doing something at a bodily level and bodily relation and forgetting the inner soul's needs. We're just ignoring that completely. The wise men used to say, they used to give example, keeping the cage clean and decorated but not feeding the bird in the cage, that is not really the purpose of the cage. Cage is simply for the bird. So this body is a cage. We are giving every importance to the body, but really within the body is the soul. And we are not at all thinking of the needs of the soul.
Body
Yeah.
also means mind too, and that's just such a big thing. People focus on satisfying their mind too. Sorry.
I mean, body, higher than body are senses, higher than senses is mind, higher than mind is intelligence, and higher than intelligence is soul. This is the hierarchy. So balance has to be kept. Life should be balanced, not one-sided. But you are saying patient, we should consume, they want to consume. In the process of consumption of the other things, we are consumed in the time, and then everything will remain here. We will be consumed actually. You cannot consume everything, you will be consumed. And the other word you said, they want to enjoy. There are two ways to enjoy. One is cooperation, one is competition. One enjoyment is in cooperation, one is in competition. That enjoyment which is by competition is always frustrating, always creating divisions, always having a hatred and enemy. The enjoyment with cooperation brings unity, brings coherence, brings more happiness in the life. So cooperative and competitive, these are the two moods of enjoyment. Actually, who is the enjoyer? This is really a very serious question. Who is the enjoyer?
Lord Krishna.
Well, this is the philosophical answer. Say, whose house is this? Say, this belongs to person A. So he has to enjoy the house, right? Whose car is this? Mine. So I have to enjoy the car, right? The very logic is this: the thing belongs to one, he has to enjoy that. This is logic. This is logic or not? So whose is this world? And who has created this world? Me? You? Huh? President of the United States? No. Then who has created the world? That the one who has created the world, he has right to enjoy. Is it logical or not? Anything you create, you want to enjoy. So who has created this world, he has to enjoy. So we have to cooperate simply with him in enjoyment, then we'll be happy. If we want to compete with him in enjoyment, then we will never be satisfied. This is the simple logic. This is the one verse in Bhagavad Gita, the song of God. And he's singing it in a really happy mood to make us happy because we are really frustrated and depressed and stressed. So his song, this verse is Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhrada Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Shantim Richati. Bhoktaram means enjoyer. Bhokta means enjoy. Bhoktaram. Bhokta, Bhoktar, Bhoktaram means he is the enjoyer. We may be the smaller enjoyer, but he is the real enjoyer. It's like that. The owner of this house is real enjoyer, but one who is hiring this house and living in this house is also a small enjoyer. So there are two enjoyer in one sense. One is the supreme enjoyer and one is the individual enjoyer. They both have to cooperate. So Bhoktaram, I am the enjoyer. This is the God is saying, I am the enjoyer. Why? Because I am Maheshwar. Huh? Maha means great, Ish means control. I am the controller and creator. Therefore I am the enjoyer. Because I create. So I am enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yaktam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Sarva means all. Lok means planet. Not any country. But planets. This earth planet, there are all planets which you see in the sky. He said, I am the progenitor, I am the maintainer, I am the controller of all these planets. Maheshwaram. Maha means great. Ishwara means controller. And I am enjoyer. Because I am controller, therefore I am enjoyer. So how can we be happy? How can we enjoy? This is our question. Then he says two things. You do two things, you will enjoy. Yajna and tapa. You do the two things. You do yajna. Yajna means actually sacrifice. You sacrifice something, then you will enjoy. In this life also, we sacrifice 8 hours, then we enjoy some money in the evening, and then we enjoy. Without sacrifice, nobody is enjoying in this world. Is right? Your child has to sacrifice his youth to go to the school, then he gets some degree, then he can earn and enjoy. So nothing in this life is without sacrifice. So what sacrifice which God really enjoys, and then we enjoy? There is also in Bhagavad Gita. Yajnanam japa yajnasmi. Of all the yajna, of all the sacrifices, I am japa yajna. Japa means chanting. Repeatedly calling upon the holy name is called japa yajna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is called Jap Yajna. And what we were doing is called Sankirtan Yajna. Sang means together, Kirtan means glorifying the Supreme Lord. And sacrifice, Yajna means sacrifice. Glorifying the Supreme Lord in a congregation together. That's called Sankirtan Yajna. So these two yajna, you all enjoyed. You said bliss, you said peace, you said happiness. Because we did this yajna, and because the controller is enjoyed, and therefore we are feeling enjoyed. It's in a life, if you earn something, give your baby enjoys, you enjoy, both enjoys. So we are the actual children of God. We only enjoy when we cooperate and follow His instruction. And as an instruction, unlike the government has its law, we have to follow, then we are good citizen. So nature, the God has His law, that is called dharma. And you follow that, then we will be happy. Then we are the good children of the God. Good citizen is one who follow the law of the land, and good soul is one who follow the guidance of the God. That's called dharma. Very simple. So what he enjoys? Yajna. And what yajna we can do? A third yajna is called swadhyaya yajna, means studying the holy book. There's another yajna, swadhyaya yajna. So these are the yajna. If these are the sacrifice, if we perform, then because God enjoys, therefore we enjoy. It's a cooperation. He enjoys, we enjoy. And what is tapasya? Tapasya means austerity. In anything in this life, when we take little trouble, then we get, what is that saying? There's some good saying, you know.
No pain, no gain.
No gain without pain. Very simple thing. Until unless you take little pain, then you will have some gain. So without tapasya, without austerity, there is no taste. If we work hard and then we get something and then we enjoy it, then we enjoy it. Because so austerity, actually austerity means voluntarily accepting some difficulties for higher purpose. Voluntarily accepting. This is voluntarily, you are sitting for 2 hours. Voluntarily sitting for 2 hours. And in one pose, this is tapasya. This is austerity in itself. You have no motivation for this, that you want to be paid $15 per hour or something. It's nothing like that. So this is tapasya, because voluntarily you accepted to be present here and sitting for 2 hours and listening and singing. This is tapasya. And then you enjoy it. Mother does the tapasya, so get up early in the morning, cook for the children. When child eats and child is happy, mother is happy by simply doing this tapasya. So these two things, if we perform, then we will please the Creator, then He will be happy, then we will be happy. Then the last line he says, So here the Sarvabhauma, I am the well-wishing friend of everyone. I am the well-wishing friend of everyone. I am sitting in your heart. The Supreme Lord is saying, I am your well-wishing friend. I am sitting in your heart. I am waiting for you. When you look towards me, all your problems are solved. Now, you have your back towards me. Therefore, you are suffering. Very simple. One formula. One chief minister of Bengal, he asked a simple question from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why we are trying to be in this world, but ultimately we are always unhappy and frustrated. Why? What is the reason? And an answer was simply, sitting back to back God is cause of suffering. Sitting face to face with God is to be happy. Very simple. And in a Vedic terminology, it says, after all the unhappiness, the sinful life, it has to be somewhere in God, otherwise how can it be in this world? So where is that in the God? On the back side of God is ignorance, is sinful propensities on the back of God. It means we are on the back of God, then we will always be confused. If we come on the front of the God, then we will be simply peaceful automatically. So therefore we go to the church, therefore we go to the mosque, therefore we go to the temple, because we become face to face with God there. And it's to becoming face to face God. Just go and stand in front of God, all your problems are solved. Very simple. This is all created for this purpose, that don't have back to back with God, have face to face with God. When you are on the back of the God, you have back of the God means you turn the face away from God, then you are automatically in the hands of Maya. And what is the meaning of Maya? What that is not. What that is not is called Maya. You see this, Maya has two functions. It covers the real thing and it shows you the unreal thing as real. That is the function of Maya. As soon as we have to turn our face away from God, we are automatically on the lap of Maya. And Maya's function is to make us dance on her tricks in this world and run from pillar to pole. And it's very difficult to get from the influence of Maya. Simple ways, this chanting, as long as you are in this association, Maya has no jurisdiction. It can't come here. Cannot come. Because we are face to face with God. Holy name is not different than God. Why does it? Well, calling water, water and calling Krishna, Krishna are not same. One of the person has done PhD in America. He says chanting Hare Krishna and chanting Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola have a different result. He made the two groups and he did the PhD. One group was chanting 20 minutes Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola. One group of 20 minutes chanting Hare Krishna. Then he analyzed on the parameter of three modes of material nature, characteristics of goodness, passion and ignorance. And after a couple of months, there is a statically positive result of chanting Hare Krishna. Those who are in mode of passion, they become in mode of goodness. Those who are in lower mode, they begin to upper. But Coca-Cola, where they are, there is no change in that. So it really helps one to rise up simply by. So why there is no difference between the why there is a difference between the calling water, water will not come water, because water is not a living entity who water don't know we are calling him. Does water know we are calling? You call your car, car will know you are calling? No. Car cannot know you are calling. But Krishna or God, when you call, he knows you are calling him because he is living. The matter is dead. How can he know that you are calling? But when you are calling God, he knows you are calling. So he immediately comes. You may not see him, but as soon as you feel satisfied, it means God has come. As you feel blissful, it means God has really manifested his presence. Therefore, you are feeling all this positive mood and sentiments and association. Now, Shankar, where is your question?
I was actually going to comment on that fact exactly, that there is no separation from God's name and God. So when we chant kirtan, we are face to face with God. And when we are face to face with God, there is no longer illusion. So when I'm doing kirtan, 30 seconds feels like 50 years, and 50 years feels like 10 seconds. You know, while the mantra is being heard by me and participated by me and us, I no longer even have a sense of time. All I know is here and now, and yeah.
That's the comment is like when you meet a saintly people and his association, if you forget the passage of time, and when you go back from there, if there is a change in your life, that is the criteria of a saintly person. If you associate with a saintly person and then you have no awareness of what time passed, and when you go from here, you are a different person, completely transformed. That is actually a criteria of saintly atmosphere. What the saintly person do? His business is simply to do the chanting of the holy name. That make us to go beyond time, beyond causation, beyond space, because it's transcendental. So there's no, we don't recognize time actually. This is right. We forget it. Sometimes we go to the holy tour in a holy place, say high up in the Himalaya, and we hardly forget actually. We hardly remember which day is this. We forget date. We forget days. Monday or Sunday we don't know for a few days. Till somebody reminds that we have to go tomorrow, which day is there, where we are, we forget everything. So there is actually something, it's getting out of the sphere of the three modes of material nature. Then there is a different, completely different paradigm. So this is a spiritual paradigm. So somehow you are some chosen souls, that you have this facility or this association in this difficult part of the time where everybody is running mad for money, and you are sitting here for man's goal of life, not money, but man's goal of life, and it's really some wonderful feeling I have to see you like this every Thursday, And it reminds me something from Bhagavad Gita, that those who have not finished their yoga in a last life, if they have not completed their yoga in last life, then they will be given such opportunity in a next life, and they start where they left last time. So in other words, you must have some credit from your past life, therefore only you are here in this association. So this is already you have earned something, therefore you are here. So these are the three verses. One says, those who have done only 15% and then they fail to continue their practice, the next life, why they left? Generally, why we leave this association? Because we want to enjoy separate individually as a competitive mood. And then when God thinks, well, he's a sincere person, he came to me, he wanted really to be happy with me, but somehow he wants to enjoy separate than me, then I will give him best enjoyment, go to the heaven. And he will go to the heaven next life and enjoy for many, many years. And then, after that, he will come back here. And when he come here, he said, all this enjoyment of this world is useless. I have seen in heaven more than that. He remembered that. And he said, no, I don't want to really enjoy the senses in this world, because they are going to be frustrated. In any case, then he will start his practice again. And they will start from 15 to 20%, 25%. But those who have done 90% and somehow, because of some accident they forgot, they will immediately be born in a saintly family. And then from the beginning they get the good facility. Athva yoginam eva kule bhavati dhimatam. They will be born in the family of yogis. In a family of yogis, like some devotees, they are getting some small child, the small Dhruva, now it's now hardly 1 year, and he's hearing Kirtan 24 hours. He's just every day seeing the deities here, everything, honoring the sanctified food prasad. So how fortunate this person is, this baby is, what type of soul is that he got the facility to be in this atmosphere. None of us has that facility. So these are the people, so they are senior actually. Don't think that there is a child. He has already practiced something, therefore he is maybe appearing young, but he's the senior than all of us. He's the one who has completed something and has came back. So this is my understanding from Shastra, is that we have done something already, so we should be more serious to continue and complete our mission and be blissful forever, free from birth and death, disease and old age, and go back home, back to God, and live blissfully with God. Hare Krishna. Anybody else has to comment something? Yes? Surajmukhi ji? Sunflower.
I was just wondering, like, what if you're performing japa and sankirtan yoga, but you still feel really overwhelmed about your own ignorance? What is to be said about that?
This is another verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, even if sincere soul is trying to do japa, he's trying to do kirtan, but still he is ignorant, then I become really very much concerned about that small foolish soul. He says, Tesham evanu kampartham aham agyanjatamaha nasyami atma bhavisto jnana deepena bhasvata. He said, I become shaken. I feel, my God, he's chanting my name, still he is suffering. Why? He feels anukampa means he becomes extreme mercy. Anukampa is like this. If you see your child is going near to the fire, how you feel, you just rush to pick him up. That is called anukampa. To see somebody in a dangerous situation and you love him and he loves you, but still he is there, then you feel like that is called anukampa. So he immediately being moved by seeing the person, he is sincere, but still then he is from inside, he enlightened him. When he is within our heart, he knows our sincerity of the purpose, then he helps us. He is there to help us simply, We have to make a beginning, then He will help us. Even if we forget, He will never forget. Never forget. Don't worry. He will never forget. We may forget, He will never forget. So don't worry. He will help you, Surajmukhi. Sunflower, He will help you. Dhanyavad, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for all your services and ultimately driving us here or getting rid of us, whatever you think.
No, bro. We really had a wonderful association. I'm looking forward to see you very quickly. I hope.
If so Krishna desire, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manudas ji. This Manudas is a president of Vancouver Temple. He kindly came to drop us here.
If you don't mind, I need your autograph. That's all. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Haribol. Thank you very much. See you all on August 9th. We have a Rath Yatra in Vancouver. Please join us.
Yeah, one is there.
Sunday, August 9th.
Yeah, you can ask myself and Sudevi more about it. It's a wonderful festival. They've been doing it for nearly 40 years, 35, 40 years, something like that. And so we'll try to arrange.
Some small vehicle to
Yeah,
take
we can all
together as a group.
get a caravan going, and we could go as a group maybe if we want. It's pulling a cart down the street and just kirtan. And then at the end there's a big festival with free food and dance and music, and it's a whole thing. So we'll talk more about it as it gets closer.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. Anybody has anything comment, or we can have one more round of kirtan? Vandana, you have to say something?
When does the exploding heart thing, does that ever stop?
Sorry? Say again?
So I chant and it's wonderful and I love it and my heart feels like it's going to explode every time. Which I like it, but it's a little disorienting.
This is little?
Disorienting. She said her heart feels like it's going to explode with blissfulness every time she's chanting, or maybe.
Oh, when she's chanting, I observe she's not in this world.
Oh.
I'm a little concerned that sometime you may fly and we will be looking at what
I go.
Huh? So when you tie something to her legs and somewhere she might fly. Man, you are really, I mean, the word Prabhupada used to say, chanting is a genuine cry of a child for mother. So genuine cry of a child for mother means when baby is hungry, cries moms and mom runs to carry. So similarly this word Hare is calling to the mom God, mother God. The motherly aspect of God is calling, and she immediately picks us up and really put us at the lotus feet of these all attractive God and give us nectar of holy name, and then we feel really like a child who is getting the milk, the nectar of mother, and he forgets all the miseries for a while. So this type of chanting gives immediately blissfulness. But there's also another cry of a child. Sometimes child is doing imitation cry. He really don't. He needs some toffee. He needs some sweet from the mother, and he cries for that. And mother knows that this cry is really not real cry. She will not really respond to that. So if our chanting is sincere, then we'll get the sincere reciprocation. If our chanting is like, little imitation cry, then response will be little imitation response also. Then made in China things will come. Something imitation will come. So that's it. And I like really the way you are absorbed in chanting. So everybody is trying, but out of the all, your absorption is very deep. Shankar sometimes goes in ecstasy, sometimes he again thinks something, but you were not opening eyes at all. And you are blissful, that's good, right? About all 3 young boys here, you have to say something? Some reflection? What's your good name, Prabhu?
Nam Ras.
Nam?
Ras.
Nam Ras. Nam means holy name, and Ras means mellow, mellows of the holy name. The mellow of the holy name, Prabhuji. Okay, Nam Ras ji. You want to reflect some reflection?
No, I have a question. Like, you said that coming in the face of God, but maybe someone else's. You can say that in this world that some people they quarrel because their coming to the face of God is different than someone else's. So there's differences in that. And people can say that because of that there are so much problems in the world.
This is a mistaken concept of God. Like the one sun, the name may be different in English called sun, in Hindi called Surya, in other things, but they are all referring to the sun. When the early morning, they say sunrise, no? So there's only one sun which gives rise to the whole, all planet, right? So similarly, there's only one God. They may have a different name and different aspect of the God they are talking about, but they don't have a full concept of the God. God is beyond our conception, and therefore we are like a blind man looking at an elephant and giving our comment about the elephant. And then the elephant, blind man says, oh, the leg of the elephant is like a pillar, it's a pillar. And the other says, no, this body is like a wall. No, his tail is like a rope. But they're right in their own way, but they don't know really what is elephant. So they may fight. So this is really what the people which don't, this is my question, sir. Half of the people don't believe in God on this planet. Those half who believe in God, they don't know who is God. This is another problem. They don't know who is God. They believe in God, but they don't know who is God. The concept of God is so vague, every person has a different concept of the God. Because how you know the concept of God really? I just common sense, I ask simple question. Well, there is a one Prime Minister of India, his name is Narendra Modi, you know? Have you met him? How you believe?
So the news?
Newspaper, okay? So you trust the newspaper, which life is only one day. Newspaper's life is one day. And it is written, there's a president, there's a country, India, there's a prime minister, you believe it. And this is a Bhagavad Gita, its life is 5,000 years at least now. And it says, Krishna says, I am God, and you don't believe this. Do you think it is a wise thing? I'm just asking a simple question. In this world, we believe the things of newspaper, and we don't believe the things which are in the scripture 5,000 years old. And then God, he says, I am God. So you have to accept some authority. The newspaper authority is good, or this scripture authority is good. That president will change, this will not change. It's a permanent. You have to accept authority. Who is God? This is a good question. Those who ask who is God, they are the wise people. They must know who is God. Otherwise, knowing, I have husband, I love my, where is your husband? I don't know my husband, what is this? What is this nonsense? And this is another foolish question. Everybody is God. And then Prabhupada used to say, you ask some very chaste wife, ask who your husband, and if he said, everybody is my husband, is his wife there? Is there some logic in that? Huh? Is there some logic in that? Everybody. So how everybody can be God? This is not foolishness. So there is God. But we have to know who is God. How can we know God? There is another question. How can we know who is our Father? Who is the final authority to tell us who is our Father? Mother. Only she can tell. So, scripture is considered mother. This is our mother. Whatever she says, we have to accept. It is not experimental knowledge. This is a authorized knowledge coming in a disciplic succession, in a descending order. It's not experimental knowledge. So we have to accept the words of mother. So scripture, Gita means mother. Gita Mata, Gita Amba, Mama. It's called Mama. Ashtadasha Adhyayani Amba. You are the mother. Please, mother, tell me, who is my father? Where is my father? We have to accept some authority. Knowing God is only wise people on this planet are those who actually endeavor to know God. They are wise. Who am I? Who is God? What is my relation with God? This is the gentleman's inquiry. If he's not inquiring that, then he's simply living for eating, defending, mating, sleeping. That is at an animalistic platform. Everybody is doing like that. So what is good about that? Know who am I? Who is God? What is my relation with God? Why I am here? So these are something which are genuine questions we should ask. So, friend, this is little ignorance, like a blind man saying a different concept of God, but they're only saying the same person. So we have to really, there are two platforms. Once we went and we met the President of India, then Abdul Kalam. He was the president, some Muslim, very scientist. He was the president, atomic science. We went him to give some gift of Janmashtami from Vrindavan. He asked, so you are from? And somehow at that time I'm inspired by God. I said, we are a spiritual movement. He said, welcome. He said, I respect spiritual persons, but I dislike religious people. The president's words are, I appreciate spiritual people, but I really very upset with religious people because they fight. The religion is a bodily concept. I am born in a Hindu family, so I am considering I am Hindu. Somebody is born in a Christian family, he's thinking he is Christian. But his spirituality is beyond bodily platform. They are thinking we are spirit soul. And soul is not of any country or of any mother and father. So there is a difference. The religious people, religious platform is little sectarian. But the spiritual platform is beyond that. He said, because you are spiritual, I really appreciate, and I think let the people understand the spiritual nature of the religion, rather than they should be strict only to the outward religious sectarian concept. So spirituality is higher than religiosity. It is the religiosity which is really sometimes giving rise to fights, but spirituality, everybody is soul, and we all have one common father, and we are brothers. Why should we fight? This is spirituality. Prabhupada is so wise man. He said, yes, Jesus Christ is Son of God. Yes, we are all Son of God. He's the obedient Son of God, and we are disobedient Son of God. There's only the difference. So he's a bona fide person, and we follow him. Then he said, I am sent by God. So he's a representative of God. That's bona fide. Follow him. You have nothing to change. He said, you have nothing to change. Simply you have to learn the science of spirituality and science of God and love of God, which is not religion. It's beyond religion. It is your, you will feel from your the perspectives of your soul that this is something blissful. It is not a ritualistic religion. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I think we can have a little small round of kirtan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hari Bol.